The future of business is headed towards automation as managing scale takes on new dimensions. Now, the last decade witnessed the emergence of several new business models across industries, from medtech to Ed Tech and FinTech. The one common thread running across all of them was technology. Now, the shift to everything online in the shadow of the pandemic has further accelerated this business transformation. Almost overnight, traditional companies were seen transforming into tech companies. But this is just the beginning. As India strives to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025, companies need to keep up the pace on this highway of growth and know when to change their lanes. So, how can enterprises take advantage of business insights to create new business models that are resilient to change and explore fresh avenues for growth? That's what we are here to find out. I'm your host Gautam Srinivasan, and joining me today to answer those questions is Gulshan Bakhtiani, founder director of Wellness Forever Medicare Private Limited. He will share with us his lessons in excellence while navigating this journey of change. Gulshan, thank you very much for speaking with us. Some say that every journey has a beginning, but change one step along the way and you end up at a different destination. So in that context, Wellness Forever was started in 2008 when three friends, including yourself, decided to merge their existing stores into a combined pharmacy business. And here we are, from 3 stores in 2008 to around 280 today, and plans for another 400 to 500 stores in the next 2 years. So describe this growth journey for our viewers and what changed to enable such exponential growth.
Hi, good evening, and welcome to Wellness Forever. So as you said, Ashraf, me and Mohan together started the business. The basic being that in 2008, we realized that Indian pharmacies were very curative in nature. As in, you are expected to go to a pharmacy if you fall sick. And we realized that when we were going abroad and when we were seeing that the whole preventive component, the whole wellness, the well-being is something that our pharmacies need to offer. And all of us understand the story of aspirational India, and most of the businesses were probably in the industrial era, where the customer is in the social era, and storekeepers doesn't know which way to go. And we realize that singularly, it may be a Herculean task for a single retailer, to leave the comfort of your well-established business and then to risk it all. And three of us complement each other very well. So we said, okay. It is now on the table, take it all or none. And so we merged our businesses. And one thing we were very, very, very sure, the future of India, and this was our thought in 2008, which further gets, now the future of India is not the continuation of past. Okay. It is not incremental future. It is transformation. Okay. And today, of course, it is visible to all of us. But in 2008, that was the thinking. And that is something that was a compelling thought in the mind, that things are changing very fast and are further going to change very, very fast. I'm sorry if this line I may have to repeat many times, but that's fortunately the fact for India. So that's the reason we said that, okay, here we are. If we have made, in 2008, I started my business in about 1995, and I had about 14 years of successful business, and a reasonable, money also. But then we said no. We now hit the restart.
All right. So that was your key element of change, not incremental thinking, but transformative thinking, which, well, when you think big, you manage to achieve it. And as I said, here we are. Now, a part of this growth story is also the transition from a physical stores format to an omni-channel retail model. So what prompted the change at MedTech?
So at least for us, for me, Mohan and Ashraf, we are all, technology migrants. We are actually internet migrants, So from, the time when we were having a dial-up network onward to Excels of the day and Word and PowerPoint, we had never seen this. But one thing was that as an entrepreneur, as an upcoming entrepreneur, you have to be not only adapting change, but embracing change. You have to bring about change. And we knew in the business that by merely adapting to change or also getting change will not lead us anywhere. And technology was something that, so maybe First I say computerization, then it called as IT, then it called ITES, then it is automation, and obviously now it is digitization. Okay, so we could really see as an entrepreneur that maybe I don't understand this now, but the gains that I'm seeing, the possibility that I'm seeing is tremendous. And therefore, if I leave the handle today, then there is a black hole that I'm going to create in the future, which will kind of take away my business from me. Or maybe I will not be able to, make my dreams come true. And early gains, like all of us know, once upon a time I saw Excel sheet and I was just not knowing, why am I doing so much accounts manually? Tally 4.5 or any solutions, when we saw. So, and we were very lucky that, from writing, your accounts with pen and paper with pencil in our ears, and we took on to the journey of computers, it was a far bigger change that we were seeing that time than the what even in digitization that we are seeing from a purely a migration of thought point of view.
All right.
So to summarize, we could clearly see that the future has changed permanently, and this is the road that we have to take. And this probably not even a road. This is a
It's a
aircraft that
highway.
we take.
It's a highway or a runway rather for you to take off to the next level. But as you said, it was technology which enabled you to go from incremental to transformative thinking. Let's talk more about that, considering, technology now permeates many interactions within and outside the enterprise in the aftermath of the pandemic. So for many enterprises, it was the similar experience when they went paperless and when a lot of technology started getting integrated into operations. At Wellness Forever, well, when it grew from say 8 crore rupee drug retail chain to 1,000 crore rupee enterprise today, I want to know, how have you leveraged the power of technology to help keep up with this fast pace of growth?
So I will give this answer two ways. One may look little rhetorical, but that's a fact. You cannot be, I mean, this is my message to myself, and this is what happened because you cannot be a consumer of technology. You cannot be a customer of technology. You cannot believe that somebody else will bring the technology and you will start using it. You have to be a embracer of technology. You have to go and create, and you have to go and customize it for yourself. And then you cannot be also technology. You can either be a technology first thinker, or you can be a technological laggard. And those are the two options you have in life. Those are not, you cannot be in between. You cannot say when everybody else has changed, I'll also change. Because when you start to change, they are changing further. And the speed of change at which the others are changing and the speed at which you are adapting, you are perennially getting left behind. So very early in hindsight, I can kind of be very happy that we said no. So like there was a time I used to run a day and night store. I used to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning and I will go for a SQL class with Vijay Mukhi. It was at 6:30 in the morning. So 6:30 to 10:30 I will run an internet class and then come and attend it to my store. And most of my people would kind of say that what's wrong with these people? Why they leave the store and go to a technology school? So those are like small examples. And then taking computers, you can imagine, those days data was very dirty. And then now, so those are the things we, really did very early. And in hindsight, it has been extremely good.
And since your interest was there, right, in technology, how does it permeate across your enterprise now, whether it's the back end, say optimization of the warehousing and other functions? Could you give us some specifics as to where technology has played a key role in giving that aha moment to you, saying, yes, that works, that's helped me either save costs or optimize resources or bring some product to market faster? Any specific examples you could cite for us?
Sure. So technology first will bring ouch and then bring aha. Oh, so when we started on a technology journey, first we thought we'll have to buy a few computers. Then we realized we'll have to buy software. Then we realized that the data has to be clean. Then we realized the networks have to work. And after the network started working, we realized now that the firewalls have to also work. Okay. So it was a journey of, and then resilience is the word. That either the computer will work and it has to work, or otherwise, if people are going to compensate for the computers, the company is not going to do. We are choosing a retrograde path. So there were times when we were completely, not knowing. I mean, we started doubting whether, team log milke kaam kar rahe the, or then now, we are working since morning and this thing is not working, or sometimes we are talking of times when internet would be, very, would not be as stable as it is today. Okay. So it was an ouch moment that time, and a lot of pains, were taken. Resilience, as I said, is the word. But once it started like ironing out, then became cloud. At what time we take the data to cloud? So it was in 2011-12 we realized that if data is in cloud, then the company can go beyond a cloud. It can take off from Earth at least. So in 2011 we went to cloud. Then we saw a clear. To give you a clear example of earlier when we were opening a store, 1.5 lakh masters medicines, we will like copy data from this store to this store, and now all the stores will have their own journey of data. So if I have 50 stores, we'll have 50 sets of data, and there will be typically 50 copy plans. So central ordering will not be possible, central returning will not be possible, customer loyalty will not be possible. You purchase coffee plum from this store, I might not be able to see it on that store. And the major, so therefore those things got significantly ironed out. And once your data stack starts working on the cloud, then honestly, sky is also not the limit. Okay. So those are things that, so I can, like, from a customer loyalty point of view, from a data cleaning point of view, and then came our warehouse. Because the data was unified, we could collect automatic orders from all the stores. We can throw it without manual intervention to our warehouse. And we realize that the PLC, the logic that you write on the machines, and you can have the trays moving on its own. All these things, because we were thinking technology and embracing technology as against kind of adapting technology, we could think. And, I'm not saying that we are at the forefront of being the best automated warehouse, but I'm very proudly able to say that our knowledge of computerization coupled with the knowledge of what is good for the business, operationally, we could create an extremely optimally automated warehouse.
All right. And in day-to-day operations as well, are you bringing in more automation, whether it's, managing the employees, managing customer loyalty and all those aspects? As you scale up, you would require to manage all that data, right? So are you bringing in more automation elements in your business?
So, in fact, very true, that in our today office and head office, almost 30% of the team is a digital team. In fact, we don't have an IT team and we don't have an ITES team. We have only digital transformation team. It's called digital transformation. Now, in a 4,000, 5,000 odd company, if 10 people are thinking IT, the company cannot become IT. So, digitization as a DNA has to fall. And coincidentally, next week, because there is a Gartner conference. So Gartner conference happens in end of November. That week, in our company, we celebrate as Festival of Digitization, where whole week, when we will be explaining people what is digitization, every department will give projects as to what in their field is the thought leadership that they can do about digitization. And then subsequent to that week, small projects will start falling in place.
That's a great initiative. You're celebrating digitization and you're bringing all the stakeholders within the enterprise on board to the idea of digitization, which in many of the discussions I've had, it's presented an organizational challenge where digital becomes part of the culture. So great that you're addressing it in that manner. But speaking of the ouch moment, which you mentioned at start, for those who are watching this conversation, what were some of the major challenges you faced in that transition to being, say, technology first or digital first in your enterprise?
So, three things I faced. And one is a bigger thing, which is a mindset and an inertia. People don't disrupt what is working. And sometimes people can't see if it starts working, what else is possible. So, therefore, lack of probable faith, lack of faith in what you can achieve, and maybe inertia. These are the two big things, which are the biggest dampener in this, So that was one. Second thing was that while I may understand that this is the solution, I don't understand the nuances of that solution. But when you jump into the solution, you know that 20 other things in the ecosystems have to work properly if the things has to ever show any benefit to you. And then comes, that the juicing the, solution is sitting in dashboards, is sitting in, insights or informative dashboards. Now, those things can be sometimes so prohibitively costly that you get into something called as a tech debt, a technology debt, which means to say after the solution has worked, insights have come, so much money and so much bandwidth has gone that you realize that do I earn money to only put it in technology or so those are the things, temporarily they will keep on troubling our mind. So those are three big challenges we face. But finally, I would say that if I were to live the last 10, 12 years once again, I would very happily take the journey again and also be a little more pushy over digitization.
And that's something which pioneers say that, even though they've been through so much in that journey, they would still take that journey up again because of the challenges, the excitement they have in dealing with those challenges can never go away rather. But considering your experience, Gulshan, in this industry, you've been associated with the healthcare sector for many years now. What would be your advice to the other players in the industry who are looking at making the shift to medtech?
Many a times my heart goes out for my fellow colleagues. I'm not taking a big brother kind of an approach, but then, okay, there is some pain, some work, some journey that we have achieved, which I'll be very happy to share with my first thing, that it is not an option, it is not a compulsion. It has to be an aspiration. It has to be a dream. Don't change from fear of losing business. That will not lead you results. It is a journey that you will abandon halfway. Okay. Second thing, that if digitization and doing bigger business coupled by it is not a dream that you are able to see, digitization is incidental to business, and it has to be, the vision has to be big. So those are like my clear kind of, and once again at the cost of repetition, digitization is a DNA. It is a thought. It is not a input of business. It is not something that you can buy and plug and play for your company.
And what would you say to yourself if you start this journey again, if you time travel to your younger self and managed the chance to have a 5-minute conversation? What would you say to yourself, all the things that you've learned, which you think might help you as you start out? Something different.
I would tell myself, Gulshan, you created one company, 1,000 crores. You should have created 5 companies with 200 crore startups.
Taking cue from that, you've come a long way from where it started and are set to raise, I think 1,600 crore rupees through an IPO. So I asked you a question about what would you say to, a version of your past, but looking to the future, what does the future hold for Wellness Forever and for the industry at large?
So I would be first able to, generalize an answer, because we are going to an IPO, so forward numbers and all will not be a good way to put forward. But, I would put it this way. Health tech and healthcare, healthcare is bigger than pharmacy. And, our generation and next generation will remember the world as a pre-pandemic world and a post-pandemic world. Okay, because so much has got changed. I'm sure people like you and me can see simply how much has changed. And only the small, indications of change are available today. Otherwise, it's going to hugely, the undercurrents are very strong of what is changing. If on an average a human being lives about 75 years, okay, then there will be about 2 years of his life collectively when he was not feeling well and he had to go to a medical store or he had to go to a doctor. So healthcare or disease care, maybe only 2 years of a person's life. 73 years he is disease free. Okay, but he is pursuing something called as wellness, preventive, requiring a better outcome from his body. Something that we call it as, today maybe a gym or a mental wellness, or the entire gamut of not falling ill or deferring the disease from occurring, okay, is the entire wellness portfolio, and that can be, unlimited times bigger than the falling ill, and that's going to be a healthcare industry. Now, in this healthcare industry, the huge impetus is going to be on food as medicine. So whether you put gummies or you take kada or you take any supplements or nutraceuticals, herboceuticals, opportunity of this consumption is far bigger with pharmacies than with kiranas. So last decade saw Maggi noodles. Next 2 decades will see aloe vera, vitamin C implemented, genetically curated noodles for you.
So taking that in context, 5 years from now, when we have a conversation again, how would you describe what Wellness Forever does then? How will it change the very nature of your enterprise?
In the connected world of healthcare, we will be one of the deeply entrenched connected player and will be providing services to the community which are befitting to wellness forever. But what would have changed is the patients, the customers, the consumers, suppliers, the providers like nurses and hospitals, even the device makers who are making diagnostics real time would have all be living in a connected world.
All right, connecting lives to live a better life. I guess you could use that phrase to sum up what you have said. And indeed, the future of medtech does seem very promising. Thank you so much, Gulshan, for joining us on this conversation and sharing with us your perspectives. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank SAP for partnering with us for this session. Till next time, this is Gautam Srinivasan signing off. Have a great day.